Amsterdam. We're here live at Havia News with a very special guest with us here. The Shy Guys. This group holds the first place position in the category of sustainability event groups and is formed by a group of fellow Havia event managers who are here to talk to us about the sustainability aspect of their event soon. So let's start with Emma, the general manager of the sustainability department, who would like to share with the audience how this event will manage raising awareness on leading world issues.
Yeah, so a big part of our event is about creating a general awareness of leading sustainable lives, and we'll carry this out through our sustainability quiz and with our activities at the landmarks of the race that we have that are each related to problems that we humans have created for ourselves and for the environment. It's shown that awareness of especially urban climates is very little with people who are not experts within the climate and environment field. So therefore we need further education and display of good practice within our lives, as the little things we do and the little things we buy, they really affect the halting environment from so many different angles. We don't only want to scare people about how bad the situation is, but we also want to inspire fun and healthy ways to practice sustainability in our everyday life through our vegetarian buffet at the end, for example.
Wow, thank you.
I'm here with Beatrice, the manager of the food department of Shy Guys. In your event, food is a big aspect in sustainability. A tough challenge to overcome is that not everyone is willing to compromise and eat sustainable food. And it's also a tough financial obstacle to face. How are you planning to overcome this challenge?
Yes, so food department for our event is really important because of course we want to have an excellent food buffet, but at the same time we want to keep an eye on our expenses. So here I'm going to say some tips that everybody can do at home when organizing a party or whatever. So first of all, the event has to be well planned. So we need to know how many participants we have in order to have just the right amount of food and avoid leftovers or spend more money for food that we're not going to eat. When we go to the supermarket, we have to check at the offers, or for example, we can also avoid food waste by buying from Too Good To Go, for example, which is an app where you can buy food that is leftovers from the supermarkets. Going on, to avoid the waste, also we can make goodie bags to give to the participants or whoever we want to. We want to also opt for reusable items when cooking. And also we want to make the dishes at home so we know what's inside the dishes, and we also can decide from where to buy the ingredients, so from local market. And also, like, our buffets are usually vegan or vegetarian. This is because it has been found out that vegan dishes produce 10% less CO2 than.
So, regarding the importance of recycling, Daniel is here from Recycling Management to discuss how he is planning to ensure that there will be a minimal amount of waste from the event.
So, as recycling is a major part of sustainability, we thought to ourselves, how can we make sure that we use close to only recyclable materials throughout the event? And second, how can we incorporate the importance of recycling in a fun and interactive way? In terms of wasteful materials in our events, we have prevented that by packaging all of our food needed for the award ceremony buffet into containers which can be used on a day and then later on washed and reused for other opportunities. If for an unlikely reason we aren't able to recycle everything, we have found ways to offset this waste in other forms. And finally, during the start of the race, there will be a mini quiz regarding sustainability in which some questions include recycling facts. Therefore, we started planning our adventure race activities and came up with a recycling-oriented basketball game. The game is set up by having a shooting line and 3 bins placed at different distances from the line. Each bin is further away. The aim of the game is to find trash along the park and use it into throwing it into the bins. In order to advance to the next bin, you have to, of course, make the shot in the earlier bin. This will encourage participants to be on the lookout for trash while walking through the park and hopefully make them aware of why keeping parks clean is important.
So, in respect to the Sustainability Development Goals, have you thought of any cool ideas where you could implement these goals or teach them subconsciously to the participants of this event?
Our event being an adventure race, we have incorporated sustainability into a variety of our activities. The creativity aspect is implementing the Sustainable Development Goals into competition-like activities. For example, with 15th Sustainable Development Goal, Life on Land, along with the main activities and also the before-mentioned basketball game, teams will score bonus points for the more trash they pick up along the way while completing each activity. The more trash they pick up, the more points they will get.
Oh wow, that sounds like one I'd like to try out. Very interesting and creative. How you make throwing trash into the bin something fun and more stimulating. What other sustainable development goals have you turned into activities?
Of course, our event is focused on sustainability. So we choose the climate change goal, and for this reason we want to make participants aware of the urgent action that we need to combat climate change. For example, we decide to, at the beginning of the race, we're going to make a sustainability quiz to make them aware of the actual condition of our planet. And also during the race, we're going to do, as you said also earlier, the recycling activities. We will clean the environment, and we also eat sustainable.
One thing a lot of people need is a wake-up call on how planet Earth is doing. Any other sustainable development goals?
Yeah, so the development goal number 11 relates very much to what we hope to inspire our participants to become an active part of after taking part of our event. With the trash collection combined with the quiz and other activities, we put a focus on the impact of our everyday, instant choices, especially the quick fix. Like, for example, our chocolate bars or something we buy on the way home from work or school, ends up as plastic waste in our green spaces in cities and in nature. There's also a lot more sustainability than picking up trash, but awareness in one area usually leads to a bigger picture of how, of being aware of where our resources come from. How they're made and where they end up. For example, microplastics in our drinking water is a huge problem, whether it goes back into the soil or becomes CO2 in the atmosphere because of the burning we do at the end, and especially these single-use products.
Okay, in our private talks beforehand, you were explaining to me the interesting idea from Kate Walworth. I believe that was the name. Could you please explain to the audience this idea and how it is related to the event at hand?
Yeah, so Raworth's donut is explained as the middle hole being the areas where the world lacks. These include poverty, food for everyone, etc. The way we live now in the Western world is very much in the overshoot zone, which causes stuff like climate change, ocean acidification, air pollution, and biodiversity loss. On the other hand, there's a shortfall of basic needs to sustain the social foundation of humanity, where if we didn't use or give enough food, water, education, or energy and stuff like this, we couldn't sustain ourselves. So we want to be in the middle, where we can live in harmony with our ecological environment around us, and at the same time still have enough resources to create quality lives of humans. So therefore, we want to push people to practice ways of living to get inside the safe and just space of humanity, which is the donut zone, with, for example, our vegetarian sustainable buffet. We want to inspire our participants to reduce their carbon footprint through the diet with presenting delicious dishes that are not based on meat, which is very heavy on our environment, as Beatrice said before, compared to eating a plant-based diet. And through our activities, we also touch upon nature around us, the biodiversity loss that nature is facing worldwide at the moment, and the pollution of air and land through chemicals and our enormous emission of greenhouse gases.
That's it for now. We'd like to thank the Shy Guys for speaking to us today. It was an interesting and very eye-opening conversation, and I hope you can take some key information with you from what was said today, and that you may start some new habits. Thank you for tuning in.